Hi, this is Jamie Baker, and I wanted to just give you a highlight or two of what my session, Developing the Strategic Plan, is going to deal with. Traditionally, the strategic plan is one of sort of a checklist mentality. I think part of parcel of what's wrong with the strategic plan is that it works from a very basic assumption that a school is mechanistic in its design. And I think this is a fault in the strategic planning process that yields the type of strategic planning that we have, which is very much look under the hood, let's tweak a few things, improve everything by, say, 10% across the board and all's well. This type of planning is sort of very staid and steady and does not allow any room for new questions or new assumptions in the planning process. On top of that, what usually happens with the strategic plan is it's filed away and it doesn't really serve us as an operating plan of the school. One of the other basic foundational problems with the strategic plan has also been this idea of how time is used in the planning process. We use a year to plan, we have 3 years of implementation, and then we have a year to gear up to see where we are on our plan and also plan again. Because of the new dynamic, ever-changing, unpredictable environment that we're in, we have to think of strategic planning more as strategic thinking, really understand what it means to be in the new normal environment. I think another good thing to keep in the top of our minds as we start to plan is this idea of a generative plan or a creative plan. We have to really understand what it means and our great not only privilege but responsibility as an independent school, which is to be bold. We have no other excuses than the lack of courage or a lack of creativity to be who we want to be. We have to ask, what is the future reality that we as a school are trying to create? Of course, part and parcel of this will be looking at our mission statements. We also will bear in mind the history of our school, the ethos of our school, and all of the components of the DNA of our school. And then we ask the very important question, what are the strategies or the difference makers that will have a strategic impact on going from where we are and who we are today and who we want to be. This is not too different than what the National Hurricane Center might go through when they're looking at how to prepare for big weather fronts that are coming into an area. Unlike the traditional look under the hood strategic plan, I think the new strategic planning environment has to look broad and scan the broad and operating environment and see what sort of strategic drivers exist. The changes in the economy, shifting demographics, shifts in the generational and post-recession values. Soon our parents will be of the Gen Y generation and they value something a lot different than the people that designed our schools who were mostly baby boom generation or before. Secondly, we have to take a look inside of our institution to learn to quantify, identify, describe, lead, and manage our cultures so that when we are looking to make movement towards a strategic direction, towards specific strategic initiatives in the future, we know how to seed an idea, develop resources and leadership around that idea, and set that idea up for success, like this picture of breaking through new growth in a very concretized, staid and steady environment. Instead of a full planning year sandwiched between 3 years of implementation, I think our strategic thinking is going to be much more dynamic, and we are going to be making strategic plans, implementing and assessing those plans through real-time feedback each year all along as we go through. This session will take questions that a strategic plan needs to ask, the strategic planning process that is best for the type of things that you hope to accomplish with your strategic plan. The big love fest is not the only option, and it's not necessarily the best option for every outcome. And thirdly, how to write a strategic plan that can more easily be used as an actual operating plan for your school, not a very pretty document that ends up in a very closeted away file cabinet or shelf. So please plan to join me in October to talk about developing the strategic plan.